You started this episode by the press of a button on your streaming channel of choice. The episode, a part of a podcast of sound.
It's Fuck, Marry, Kill.
A podcast of sight. A podcast about ships, and everything in between. You're moving into an episode of both betrayal and loss of beloved characters. You've just crossed into the Fade to Obsidian Zone. What you're about to witness, listener, is the ramblings of three howlers. Skipper and Crescent, your hosts for this show, and the third, Charon, their guest in the sadness of chapters 81 to 85 of Lightbringer. You may continue through here on your journey of discovery, but be warned that spoilers may be contained within. So, continue at your own risk, or read up to this point in the book. What you'll find along the way is that their ramblings will involve violence, death, and strong language. You've been advised. The rest is up to you.
Welcome, everybody, to Fade to Obsidian, your Red Rising podcast about relationships and spaceships. I am Skipper, joined as always by Crescent, and welcome back to the podcast for the second time during Lightbringer.
Another live episode.
Another live episode. The only person who has ever done live with us, and you are today live with Crescent. Welcome, Charon. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Good to be back.
You, of course, bring all the good cocktails with you. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go first in what I'm drinking, and then you guys can go, because I think that's fair. And I am drinking absolutely nothing special because I am recovering from food poisoning. So I have ginger ale with glitter in it.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty special.
Gold.
It has glitter.
I got some red sports drink. Let's just say we are not sponsored. Red sports drink. Maybe I'll add glitter to that. And some water. That's what I'm rocking. But you guys created an entire cocktail for this. What do we have?
Yeah, we went hard after it.
They are disappearing.
There
you
this
go.
cocktail. It is called Eagle's Rest.
Eagle's Rest.
And currently we're recording this a week and a half before the contest is over.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, we have nobody. Scarlet is very, very close.
Yes, with I believe Eagle at Rest.
Yeah, the Eagle at Rest, I think.
Yeah, I think that one.
Nobody gets it exactly.
We'll give it to Scarlet. Yeah, there is some other. I'm gonna pull it up here. There is some other really good guesses happening.
There is.
Let's see here. Classic Eagle, or just Eagle, I guess. Just Eagle.
I think it's Eagle. Yeah.
But then Dolphin Boy. Golden Chin, but that was in your description of it, so I don't know who thought that, like, come on.
Wouldn't give it away like that.
It's a double fake out.
But the lightning, that's a cute one for lightning and thunder.
Really good.
And Razor Master, Morning Eagle, Blood Brother, or The Most Yummy.
Yeah, I mean, it is that, but that's not the name.
I haven't stopped crying about Lightbringer since August. That's a name.
Well, that may be true.
That's one of the name suggestions?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody Damn Bologna.
That's also a good one.
Remaining Honor. Julian.
Bloody Damn Bologna. If we have more Ango.
Oh, yeah.
Later.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Turn it a little bit red.
Yeah.
Not a Scratch. Eagle 1. Or maybe drop the O. Millstone. I don't know if
AU.
AU. Yeah. Millstone. I don't know if I understand the millstone.
I will be your millstone.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, ooh, that's a good one.
That is really good.
The honor
Oh.
is the last one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, well, they will roll in, but this
I'm
will
hoping
come
we'll
out
have
on
to-
Valentine's Day, and we'll announce the winner when this is released. So watch.
Breaking hearts on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah. Eagle at Rest is the closest. But Eagle's Rest, I like it. So what's in it? What's our recipe here?
Okay, so we have got 1 ounce of Wild Turkey 101. We've got 1 ounce of Lagavulin 16 because that is a requirement.
Yeah.
Half an ounce of ginger syrup, half ounce of lemon, 1/4 ounce of Amaro di Angostura. There's like it's basically bitters but made into a liqueur.
Ooh, interesting.
And then a half ounce of yellow chartreuse, which is
Hidden.
wild. Chartreuse, green chartreuse, which is actually where the color comes from, is a drink that's made of I think it's 123 different herbs and spices. So it's KFC squared. Made by monks.
Yeah.
Nobody
since the
knows.
1500s.
Yeah. Nobody knows the
the
recipe.
actual recipe.
Except for the monks. Yeah.
And yellow chartreuse is that, but with honey added.
Oh.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know the difference between the two.
I don't think it's very different, but it's just honey added.
Interesting.
Green chartreuse is high test. It's 53% or something. Yellow chartreuse, 43%. This is a nitro fueled cocktail.
Yeah.
We have 3 or 4 ounces of.
I think the lowest alcohol is 40%. Yeah.
No, the Angostura is 35%.
Oh
there
my
you go.
God.
So we're
Weak
giving
cash,
Twist
yeah.
a run for her money.
So you guys are just going to be
we were gonna
crying
use-
by the end of this episode. You're just going to be real emotional and real drunk. Yeah, that's true. Listen,
That
I
was
wore
probably
black.
gonna
I came
happen
for a
anyway.
funeral. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm in the cockpit.
Aww. I
We were
ordered
gonna
that
use,
shirt today.
Eagle Rare.
Did you? Yeah. We were going to use Eagle Rare bourbon instead of Wild Turkey, but unfortunately, it's true its name and it is rare.
Yeah.
It's not very expensive when you can find it for MSRP, but
Yeah.
it is tough to
Nice.
find.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, enjoy. And yeah, we will post. I think tonight you're going to, or tomorrow you'll post
I'm
the
gonna
recipe up.
Yeah, it will have been live for a week and a half by the time you guys see
Yeah.
this, but yeah, I'm also, if you haven't seen it yet, I'm also going to make a more accessible cocktail because the bottles for this is probably $2.50 Canadian. So I'm gonna make something that's a little easier to get into, and I'm hoping it's gonna have a similar vibe.
Love it. Love it. Well, thank you guys for bringing that. Yeah, well, we've got the hardest chapters of the book, I would say. And Charon, you jumped right in. I think you had claimed this before.
First one.
Yeah. So, I don't know. No spoilers for this chapter section anymore, right?
Right.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're good to
we
go
can
for
talk all the way up
anything
to 85. Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, everybody, we're doing 81 to 85 today.
81, 85. Perfect. I listened to only those ones today, so I couldn't go too far.
That's how I do it.
I called this one because I was talking to Crescent. We were out camping while I was reading these chapters, and he had already read them. And at the end of one of the chapters, I texted him fully engaged in this being the Lysander redemption arc.
Ooh.
And I have
It
never
leads
been
up
so
to
wrong
it.
so fast.
I know.
Yeah. It was very much oh my god, it's happening. And I thought it was chapter 84. I thought it was the hanger.
It was just before that.
And I was like, it happened. And then he was like, 15 minutes later, God fucking damn it.
Yeah. What a fucking twat. Was my quote, actually.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been thinking that there's going to be a Lysander redemption.
Okay.
The last 2 books, and have been a proponent of that.
So that's who you are.
Anymore. Not anymore. Very much not anymore. I was in the last podcast. I had to fake like him because I liked him at that point in my read. Yeah.
You know, I'm just trying to pull up what my message to Crescent was.
Yeah, that would have been mid-May, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, right, you.
No, it just goes. I go from. Oh, I never even comment on it.
Just utter disgust and ignoring.
Yeah, because I've just looked up the word Cassius in our conversation, and it goes from me saying Cassius is gonna die, isn't he? To the next time I say Cassius is
turns out.
When are we renaming the Cassius channel as Cassius in Memoriam?
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, our behind-the-scenes Pegasus Legion naming chat is just called Cassius, because he was the one who named all of the Howlers in Red Rising.
Okay, I found it. It goes, I say, Cassius is gonna die, isn't he? Just when Pierce made me like him. Fuck you, Lysander, in all caps locks. No wonder you were so passionate on Saturday about Lysander being a little bitch. Because we had recorded Cast Bash 2.0, and Crescent had to sit there to us, like Dram trying to say that he has no honor. As Crescent's like knowing shit.
I'm very, very much looking forward to Cast Bash 3.0. Let me tell you.
It is coming. We obviously have the trilogy to conclude that Dram and Hydro have agreed to come on. It will be one of the first episodes after Lightbringer, because, poor Dram. Yep. Poor Dram. Gonna be, well, poor Hydro, who is actually like the one who's been in since the beginning, but Dram's gonna get annihilated. So everyone go back and watch. Hydro has
always been a down-ass chick.
Yeah. Hard. It's a whiplash, these chapters. It's not just his death where and Lysander's, but you get Gaia being like up and down and all over you don't know Diomedes at one point.
Diomedes,
I'm like,
Gaia.
Do we trust Diomedes halfway through this? Like, there's so much to this.
Man. Diomedes talking to Gaia is like one of my favorite monologues there. It's cool.
Yeah. I am in awe of Pierce in this whole section.
It's beautifully.
Is just so emotional, so powerful.
Yeah.
This is definitely my favorite 30 chapter stint of any series.
Mm-hmm. So good. All right, well, let's dive in. So we start. Where do we even start? We start on the Lightbringer, don't we?
We start with the parting of the shadows.
Yeah.
So Lysander is admitting that he's a scared little bitch boy.
Yeah, he is.
To the Moon Lords. But also the Moon Lords and Cicero are also admitting that they're scared little bitch folk.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows that admitting that you're scared is weakness.
Obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's never been human. Absolutely not.
No.
I refuse to acknowledge that.
This is we continue to go to there's no therapy in space. We can't deal with our emotions.
I did think about wearing that shirt today.
So did I. And then, no, just for a funeral instead.
This morning, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good call.
Yeah. But yeah, we get, I don't know, it's interesting if they kind of go through some of, and we talked about this last episode where it very nostalgic back to the Iron Reigns of before and getting now Lysander's point of view of what's going to happen, kind of this follow through, this almost ceremony type of thing that's happening. And just the really interesting having Lysander's inner thoughts of, my favorite is he calls out that he thinks Darrow's back home causing shit,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah. A lovely, lovely example of dramatic irony.
Yes.
And he says in like this first chapter that he's scared of seeing Cassius again.
Yep.
Which is some awful foreshadowing. Like good foreshadowing, but awful.
Yeah.
Awfully good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we get Diomedes flying in.
The prodigal son
prodigal
returns. Yeah. And they treat him like that, like he is being kissed over, that he has to shove his way through because people are just like throwing themselves at him because they truly believe he died. Lysander, I think, is very relieved at first of like, oh, he made it. But then absolutely flips of, our stories are not going to like.
I don't think I was alone here in hoping that was the case, that they weren't gonna line up and shit was gonna go real sideways real fast. Alas,
No. But think back of what's everyone's first thoughts of seeing Diomedes in that capacity, returning home. Like, did we think this was what was going to happen? Did you think he had maybe flipped sides? What was our...
I'll let you go first on this one.
Sure. I wasn't expecting the bringing Lysander and Darrow together. That was a big shock for me.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like it fits him perfectly, but it's like that honorable middle ground that no one else would have done, especially no Core Gold or like anyone else. He just made that decision of, hey, you both have some stupid shit you're saying.
Yeah.
You both fucked up, but we can make it right together.
Yeah, and like he even calls it out, like, I am the most aggrieved party here.
Yeah.
Like, if I can forgive either of you.
Yeah.
Or both of you.
Yeah.
You can forgive one another. Yeah, I think at this point I was pretty fully on board with Diomedes. Like, there was a little bit of trepidation during the walk to Akari's shield. But I was never expecting that we were gonna have Diomedes flip back.
Right.
He's been too honorable. He gave his oath, and he talks about in the last section how he's not stingy with his oaths, or he is stingy with his oaths. Sorry. So I kind of was trusting. I was very, very much in the Diomedes is here for everybody.
Right.
However, I was not expecting him to lead Lysander into Summit with Darrow.
Yeah.
Anything, I thought he was going to shank him.
Just take him out back. Get rid of him real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like how the Summit goes down of just at the beginning that clearly Lysander and Darrow don't know what's happening, and they're both like checking the bushes and like so on guard of like what is happening, like What's the line from Darrow of
Yeah.
if this is what your grandmother looks like give my regards to her
Your
carvers or
my
something.
props to your carvers, yeah, basically. Like, even in such a tense chapter, like, bravo, Pierce, bravo for the
Yeah.
levity. That's absolutely such a mint line. But also worrisome.
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously, I guess we know now about Helios being, or Atlas being Helios. And it's like, what
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not Lysander. That's Octavia.
if? Dun dun!
The long con.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say that later, when we see Atlas again, I did have that worry because Atlas wouldn't meet Lysander's eye. That I was like, is that
Oh,
not
that he
actually
wasn't
Atlas?
actually. Oh, yeah.
That was a worry to
I
me. During this portion, I fully believed that Diomedes, because they both fully love Diomedes, both Darrow and Lysander, just want
oh yeah.
him to be their friend. Like, they
Yeah.
respect him that I didn't think Lysander would screw Diomedes from this point over. But later, I did have that worry.
Yeah, after this, I feel like Lysander is very much less on Diomedes' dick, for lack of a better term. He's so unimpressed by him having this relationship with Darrow.
Yeah.
Lesser than.
Yeah. For sure. Can we also talk about
We
what's
also
sitting
get
in the
his,
room with them? Oh yeah, go on.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry. I was just thinking about his quintessential line, "We are the shepherds,"
Oh,
which is like, we are the shepherds with iron fucking boot heels. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I like that Lysander is technically truthful with his fear, but like at the same time he's very lying. And like he fears gold disunity.
Yeah.
But like that's just to keep the hierarchy.
Yep.
Like he just
yeah, they clearly don't care about like human advancement or like lack of suffering or anything like that, because more advancement has happened since the Republic anyway, for one.
Yeah.
yeah, the free market
Yeah.
has not that we're endorsing capitalism.
No.
Wearing
But
red for a reason.
You're gonna get us banned off YouTube.
Ah!
Communist stuff on YouTube.
It's fine. But yeah, back to your point about what's sitting in the room where it happened.
Oh my god. A box.
Just a box.
Just a box.
What's
And
in the box?
I feel like the first time reading through, the moment there's a box, I'm like, dear God, whose head is it in now? And then like, it's one of those like, oh yeah, it's Fob. Of course it's gonna be Fob, but like still, you're sitting there being like, who's really? Which it makes a reappearance later, and I'm like, why is this just box with a head in it, like just chilling?
Hang on.
Yeah.
Do we think that the box still had the Admiral Stinkhorn face drawn on it?
Can you imagine?
I can't.
Lysander's sitting there being like, what the fuck? What's happening on the Archimedes?
Like, so it's turned away from him.
Yeah.
And the other side is like a smiley face.
Like a really, if they ever do a movie, it's like for Lysander a really monumental moment when they open the box, and then for everyone else they get to see the back.
The other side.
Yeah, it's the light coming out of the box, but the camera is from behind. Oh my god.
So is this the third head in a box?
Yes, technically. We've
Because
got Iona,
Yep.
Augustus / Bologna.
Yep.
But I think Augustus is the older family, so she would have taken his name.
Yep.
And then we get Fitchner.
Yep. Yeah, and now Fa. Interesting. Yeah. But yeah, I like
Yeah,
that
it's
it's just
really
sitting there. And then later again, it's in the room, and we'll get to it later in the last chapter when Guy is like hanging out with Darrow, and it's just sitting in the corner of like, there's the box, and it's like, guys, like, did you preserve it, or is it just rotting? Like, what? What's happening here?
It's a cooler. It's a cooler box. It's fine.
Oh, okay, it's
Trust
like a
me, I'm a
styrofoam.
refrigeration mechanic. I would know.
He knows exactly how long a head will keep in a fridge. It's
Yeah.
fine.
It's only been like 6 weeks.
No,
I don't think it's been anywhere near that.
I don't
I don't think so.
I think it's been at least a day. I was gonna say like a week, cause they gotta like.
I don't think so. I think everything at this point is way too fast paced.
I don't know. Jupiter's pretty big. Like,
But
those
also, like,
moons could be real far apart.
The voting process. How long did the voting process take? It calls it out if you have this many hours or this many days. What's the voting process?
Good question. I would guess that it's not that.
I think we're like at a week.
I
Because they didn't feel a
don't
threat
think
at that
I don't
point.
think it's that far.
But Atlas and the other people just came back from their mission that was at the same time as Volsung Fa's defeat.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be super long time, I wouldn't think.
It doesn't give
Doesn't give
an
time.
exact amount of time, but it's basically until Nival Night, right? Which is, I think it talks about Nival Night being bi-weekly.
Okay.
Full on Crescent research mode.
Yeah.
So I also like the chapter switch in the middle of this meeting, where you're getting both Lysander and then also Darrow's impression of what the fuck he's just pulled on them.
Yes. Yeah, I really like, and I think this is the first time we've had Darrow and Lysander in a true actually talking, not just stabbing each other, not just a light.
We brush past light resistance.
Yeah. This is kind of the first time we get their true back and forth, and having both perspectives in this is a really cool thing. Because we've had it a few times with some other people. Obviously, Lyria is almost always paired with someone else with a point of view. But this is the first time that the Darrow-Lysander foils really come together, which is really cool. Did you find it? Did you find...
I did. Nival Night occurs every 42 hours.
42 hours. Okay.
So
it could be any multiple of 2 days apart.
Yeah.
1.5. 1 3/4 days.
You said 48 hours?
42 hours.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But still, okay. So it could be a day. I'm just thinking of...
So much glitter left in here?
Yeah, like the entire bottom. the little nub is glitter.
We're coming out of the peace talks. How did we feel about it? Do we trust Lysander at this point? Charon, I think you did.
At this point, I didn't actually.
Oh, okay.
So, I did not trust him at this point. I trusted him after the next chapter.
Okay.
But right now, I thought there's no way. Like,
basically, he's saying anything.
Yeah, I didn't think that he has yet hit his rock bottom, I guess, point where he was gonna see the error of his ways, he was still spouting off that garbage about being a shepherd and being the only right way for man. Like, I didn't think that he had yet hit his point where he was going to turn around.
Okay.
And maybe he'll try and turn around, but I don't give a shit anymore.
He's lost you.
I still haven't. Pierce might still try and write a redemption arc, but I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Honestly, I can't see it. I can't see it happening.
I can't see it anymore either, but
there's no coming back from that.
I know.
He's gotten a new fun gold with honor.
Yeah. I know.
Wait, hang on.
Yes.
Darrow killed Cassius's brother. Lysander killed Darrow's brother.
Mm-hmm.
Thunder and Lightning V2. I can't even. No, I can't.
Wait, are you saying that Lysander becomes love?
Be great friends.
Best friends.
No.
Dirty for even saying
Okay,
it.
even if they became allies, they still wouldn't be friends. Lysander's way too much of a.
That's correct. So
he's way too pretentious to be friends with Darrow.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I want to touch on their little back and forth about how Darrow says, "Oh, I was on my knees from the effort of your betters," and Lysander's like, "Oh, I welcome the challenge," and Darrow's like, "He's not scared. Good.
Yeah,
I don't like killing.
I don't like killing. Yeah."
And Darrow's like, you know what? I want this fight. I want to kill this kid.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? Fuck the rest. Like, it doesn't really matter. I could just kill this kid and let everybody else take care of the rest.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm so with him.
So I will say that you're right. Maybe it wasn't in the garden or wherever we're calling this place that I thought Lysander had flipped, but the moment he kind of starts talking to Atlas, I, who have always hated Lysander, thought that there would be a flip.
Yeah, I think it's because, like, even as much as you can hate Lysander, you hate Atlas more.
You hate Atlas more.
You can be impressed by Atlas, but he is a son of a bitch. An impressive son of a bitch, but still.
And Lysander, I think, in these next chapters, really gives us more of a human look into his own being than we have seen prior. Like, he is that scared little lost boy. Like, we get it, especially when he's talking to Pytha, but when he's talking to Atlas, like, he's backed himself into a corner. He doesn't have anyone he can truly trust other than Pytha. And so because of that, it was one of those, in my mind, I went, he's figured out that the best thing to do is to flip and then work his way out from there. I don't think it would be in a long-term flip. It was a means to an end. But I had a little bit of faith in Lysander. And I think Lysander, we'll get into this later, I think Lysander had a little bit of faith himself.
Yeah, honestly, like, I, in 83, thought I was about to be proven wrong. 83 through most of 84. Thought I was about to be proven wrong. It's like, we see Cassius, first of all, protecting the low colors again, showing that he, in fact,
the chin,
the golden chin, killing Strabo, taking his armor, sneaking in. Also, we find out that Lysander may have another paramour. But
I don't remember that.
So there's only two people that have the like secret back way in Lysander's room.
Pytha and
Horatia, which is very close to Hypatia, which is like, is that Freudian?
There you go.
But it's a great question. Nope, it's gone.
All
It's
right.
gone.
We'll come back to it.
That's fun.
But yeah, like previous to that, so we settle in the garden. We get Lysander back on the ship talking to Atlas. And so this is the point I was saying that I didn't fully trust it was Atlas because he's not meeting his eye. He's kind of being a little strange about things.
We're skipping though.
Oh, you're right. Is
Yeah,
it
'cause
Cassius first?
he talks
Yeah.
to
Oh, you're right.
his dragoons and then Cassius and
Okay.
Pyka.
Okay, so then
And
we'll go
then-
back. Yeah. Okay. My mistake. Yeah, so then Cassius,
Well,
which I love
One thing
that
you mentioned before the Cassius
Yeah.
conversation, you mentioned that he's a scared little boy,
yeah.
and this, I guess, connection with Darrow would be a way out from that, because currently, like, his biggest issue is that fear is making him do this thing that he doesn't really want to do.
Yeah.
And he has an out now, which is, I think, part of the reason why, after the Cassius chapter, it's pretty convincing that, hey, maybe this is what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, it makes a lot of sense for him to do that, and we can discuss later, but I think he probably was meaning to do the right thing until he saw that goddamn box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so we get Cassius sneaks on, and we're back to the reminiscing of Morningstar, I guess it is, of, yeah, I've been on, because Lysander's like, have you been on here? And he's like, yeah, like, these are the exact quarters that we watched back the Hollows. They drank, and they call out the Lagavulin, and he goes, was it Scotch? No, bourbon. No, Scotch, because it was smoky. Like,
Yeah, and actually that's why
You did
I
both.
chose a bourbon. I mean,
And
granted,
a-
Eagle Rare was the
Yeah.
vibe, but it was always supposed to be bourbon
and a
because
Scotch.
of that interaction or like
Nice.
that thought. Yeah. Yeah, he says, he talks to Lysander about how the decor is less Spartan compared to when Darrow had it. Lysander's like, oh yeah, he would have been here. Hang on. Can we go back to Morningstar?
Yeah, right. Okay, but also they call out how like people died trying to get into Sevro's quarters because they've got Fitchner's helm there, or Ares' helm, I guess. And yeah, that is the real thing. And then talking about how Aja and Cassius had to take it from the original owner. But I just
Yeah.
like the
people they
mental
lost,
picture of how many people they had to send into Sevro's court, because we saw it in, is it Iron Gold
In
that
Dark
they
Age.
go in Dark Age, and they go in.
Yeah, because he's going to appease Glarastes. He's trying to get sardines.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sevro would have some. You think he always smells like fish? No. I really like. There's a couple things I really like about the interaction with the helmet. First of all, Cassius asks Lysander if he's ever tried it on, and Lysander says, "No, it wouldn't fit." And you're fucking right, it wouldn't. Like, in every sense of the word. First of all, like, gold skull between Lysander and Sevro sizing.
But
Even
Fitchner,
Fitchner sizing.
yeah,
Even Fitchner sizing, like, he was not
Yeah,
he was not like a prime example of a gold,
Yeah.
right? But then also the metaphorical, it wouldn't fit.
yeah,
Like, Ares is everything you're not. He's all for equality for everyone.
yeah.
He wants people to decide for themselves. Like, he's wearing headphones. Good. He's in the middle of Morningstar. She just lost Ragnar. I can't have her hearing about this.
Oh no.
But yeah, and then Cassius takes and he puts Ares' helm down, and Lysander notes with how much reverence he puts it down, and it tells him all he needs to know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which
like
it tells us all we need to know too.
Yeah, it didn't necessarily register for me the first time, but reading it back, it's definitely telling.
Mm-hmm.
He, as much as he talks about how he's got all this respect for Cassius in this moment, the fact that he's looking down on him basically for kind of revering Ares at this point is gross.
Yep.
But then we get Cassius properly apologizing to Lysander for 10 years of trying to make him into something he thought he wanted and then pushing him away and
Yeah.
resenting him and resenting himself. And
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and
he also,
I was gonna say there's two call-outs right at the beginning. Lysander calls out of how much better Cassius looks with like the bags under his eyes from alcohol are gone. Like, well, not gone, but better. Like,
yeah,
kind of calls all of that out. If he just
he,
looks like a
I was just
better
about to
man
say that.
now.
Yeah, he said that he is no longer rusted iron. He has been infused with carbon and is now steel.
Yeah.
And he says that Cassius has always been an athlete of rare form, but now is like a coiled spring, but also is relaxed,
Yeah.
content, happy. Um, and Cassius himself even says when he's apologizing, like, I've never been good at being happy.
Yeah.
So
I think the apology is really good because
it's a great apology.
well, like when you think about it, Lysander was taken from his family, like they were murdered in front of him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even know this, but he had the memories of his actual parents torn out of his head.
He does know it at this point.
At this point, sorry, he doesn't know it when he's 14 or
When it
whatever.
happened.
When he got
Yeah.
When it
taken.
happens, yeah.
And Cassius is trying to treat him like a brother during the time when what he really needs is a role model and a parent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Cassius wasn't in the state to offer that. But if he was, we could be in a totally different place right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like, and I think Cassius obviously says it best. He says that instead of trying to mold Lysander to fit what he thought he needed, that he would try and mold himself to be what Lysander needed.
Yeah.
I think that's like, what more can you say? And Lysander even says, like, I didn't know how long I had been waiting to hear him apologize, basically. I don't know. Yeah, it's a as much as I hate to say it, it's a very human interaction.
Very human. And then I absolutely love Pytha's like part in this of kind of the family reuniting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that Cassius just trusts, kind of basically knows that it's her. Obviously, we've got her voice. He knows her voice.
Yeah, but as soon as he sees her, he's...
Yeah. And how good are his eyes that he can see her reflection in Lysander's eyes.
And Lysander says that like that's just a thing that golds can do. Like, why would I even... Like, of
Why
course
would
he
I-
can
yeah.
tell that. Like,
Yeah, don't be ridiculous. He was looking into my eyes. They
Yeah.
have reflections. Um, Meanwhile, I'm surprised that I can see that there's shapes in eye reflections.
Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes there's light there. Yeah. Yeah.
Very occasionally.
Yeah.
Usually Skipper is looking into the eyes of her dead husband. There's no light behind those eyes.
Oh! Wow!
For legal reasons, that is a joke. Skipper did not kill her husband.
I did not kill my husband.
Allegedly.
Can't say allegedly. It's a joke. Because if you say allegedly, it's not a joke anymore.
It's not a joke anymore if it's allegedly a joke. It's allegedly a joke.
Yeah.
I did
Now we're
not
just
kill my husband.
6 layers too deep.
I know.
She's even in mourning.
I'm in mourning right now. I was so close, but I didn't know how to wear it with the headphones of wearing my widow's
Mourning veil.
Yeah. It's sitting on the... Hold on, give me half a
Are you getting
second. I
sleepy,
can reach it.
Earl? See? She's wearing
Oh,
pajama pants
perfect.
too.
Everyone's
I always
wearing
have
pajamas.
pajama
Hell
pants.
yeah. Shout out Hydro. Gray sweatpants.
I can't wear it though with the headphones. It's not gonna work.
Perfect.
Over the one
the
eye.
back of the bow underneath the...
You can tell she already tried.
I didn't. I thought about it, and then I was like, "That's not gonna work." There you go. We're just in mourning for the dolphin.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Use that for the thumbnail, but then don't have it on the rest of the show.
The rest of the.
Clickbait.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we get the family reunited. We get now my hair's a mess. Hold on. Family reunited. Super cute moment of our lost little boy with his 2 parents.
Yeah. Also, do either of you remember the fact that Pytha's like 50?
I had forgotten that. I always picture her as like in her 30s.
Nope.
I didn't know they mentioned an age, but I knew she was like 40, 50.
Yeah, she's like right around that late 40s, early 50s.
Oh.
Yeah. A parent figure, but also like to 2 golds, so also a slave figure. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that she was a parental figure to Cassius.
No, I wouldn't say to
No.
Cassius.
Yeah, no. And Cassius never, like, I
I don't
I'm
know. She
almost
was always
sure
getting
that-
on his case about drinking too much and like taking Lysander into situations he shouldn't have.
Okay,
and
well, okay, maybe Big Sister.
Big
I would
sister
say
vibes,
big
baby.
sister.
Alright,
I always thought of her as big sister.
Do you think it started before or after the dent in the bulkhead where he smacked his head?
Ooh. Good call out.
I think it's after.
After?
Like,
well, because I feel like
You
she would have
damaged my
had to
ship.
be.
You damaged my ship
Yeah.
being drunk.
But I think it also
With
has
your
to be that
skull.
she was comfortable enough with him. Like, it's not going to be first week on the job. Like, you got to work your way into being comfortable enough with anyone, even if it is Cassius, who we know is hero to the low colors now. There's still a learning curve, whoever you are, to. So, yeah. After
Yeah,
would make
I mean, you
sense.
gotta-
Because
you
we're
gotta spend,
thinking
like-
that the wedding happened probably a couple months after Morningstar. We don't know when the wedding
Yeah.
happened exactly.
I mean, let's be real. Darrow and a long engagement, not the vibe. Like how
They've
long
already
was
had the
Darrow
child
and
out of wedlock. What's the point?
Yeah. Cats, you little bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we have no like real idea of how long Darrow and Io were engaged before they were wed. But based on like everything else in the red culture, probably not long.
Not long.
Yeah.
I can't, and Darrow loved the shit out of Mustangs so much. There's no way he waited.
There's no way he left and went to another campaign, which was probably pretty quick,
Yeah,
before they were married.
though he did have to heal his right hand at the end of Morningstar. We literally talked about this last episode. It's not even out yet, so you absolutely wouldn't have seen it. But we talked about how he hoped that he would have less cause to use the razor in times to come. He talked about how he can barely hold a pen, let alone a razor.
Yeah. So.
How'd that pan out?
Yeah, poorly. Poorly, it turns out. Democracy is easy. Or democracy is not easy, sorry.
Yeah.
Breaking is easy, building is harder.
There you go. I think that's the...
Yeah. But yeah, so we get, Pytha being also the one pleading with Lysander to kind of do the right thing.
So here's where I think he's gonna flip.
Yeah,
like,
this is me too. Me too. At this point, where I was like the family's back together.
So like, Cassius had him for 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, Gold's probably make memories at like what, 2 months or something, but he still had him almost as long as Octavia did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Octavia got to put him in the chair.
Put him in the chair. Yeah.
Which we hear a lot about the chair in this. He keeps going back to it.
I don't know about a lot, but like
a couple mentions.
Like it's prominent.
Yeah.
Like
it's pretty pivotal in his life, though.
Yeah. He basically starts having a panic attack when he sees Cassius. And the last time he had one, once was enough to get the pandemonium chair.
Yeah.
And
So, as much as I included now, fucking hate Lysander after this set of chapters.
Fucking better.
He is still probably one of the more tragic characters in a fairly tragic story. Like
100%.
Like, yeah, we can talk about how like the Reds are actually slaves, but so is he.
Yeah.
Like, maybe even to just as bad as an extent is he tortured and made to fall in line with what Octavia wants than anyone else.
Yeah, he's literally been brain diddled.
Yeah.
Shout out, not Howler Pod. As much
Words
as I
and Whiskey
shout out
is
Howler
really...
Pod for that. Shout out Words and Whiskey.
Yeah, you bring up a great point that I think the Reds have generational trauma. They've got a culture of trauma, but within that, because there's then they can find good moments within that, I think. Lysander, I don't think a little bit with Cassius, we would hope we get the story of him buying all the candy. Like, he's got a little bit of that throughout, but he has never been someone with his... Yeah. Aja a little bit, but for the most part, like, he's never had someone who has true free will. As much as he thinks he does, every step of the way is decided by someone else. Is definitely a child of torture, of abuse, and then grows up. And Cassius as well kind of emotionally abuses without meaning to, but that abuse continues there. And then now as a grown-up is trying to make his way through life, and everyone just throughout Atlantia, through Atlas, even though everyone else he thinks he can trust, other than, let's say, Cicero, he doesn't have anyone to actually rely on. He doesn't have anyone to make good memories with. Yeah.
And almost everyone that he thinks he can trust, like Roan, stabs him in the back, poisons him to his face.
And shoots him in the back of the thighs.
Yeah.
Like, the Reds have no idea, like, originally, have no idea that they're slaves, right? They're pioneers. And I think in the same, like, it's similar. Lysander doesn't know he's a pawn, or
Yeah.
doesn't know that he's been fucked with royally until way too late.
Yeah.
But
It's
you know,
pretty
they-
messed up because like all of the low colors have it bad,
yeah,
and I would say most of the peerless also kind of have it bad in normal gold society.
Except for the
anybody who's not
Telemanus.
peerless, for sure.
Except for the Telemanus, maybe they're doing okay, but like the
Telemanus
people
are
who are doing the best are probably the pixies.
Yeah. I would prefer to be a pixie.
They're
Make
just
fun of
having a
me
good time.
all you want. I don't want
Yeah.
any control.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to
No
hang
vibes,
out.
just vibes.
Yeah. It's great.
Fair.
So
Yeah.
those are the people winning in the society, and everyone else is losing to what they could have had in
Yeah.
a different version.
Yeah,
Team Pixies, man.
yeah. I think that's fair. Yeah.
Being pixies.
Team Pixies.
Wait. Team pixies.
Yeah.
Hey, my sports drink is glittery too now, because I put it in the same glass.
Ooh,
Is it-
that's
is it-
actually really cool.
Yeah. It's the packs of sports drinks.
Mm,
Hey!
that is literally too good.
Wow.
And for everyone who doesn't know, which is everyone except Tower, I'm a huge lightweight.
Oh no.
Like literally, he's huge
Yeah, I'm a
in
huge.
the lightweight.
Yeah.
Charon has had several concussions.
Yes.
Oh
His
no.
brain does not do the alcohol processing thing properly.
No. But that's
So
okay.
We've had 2 drinks. They're stiff.
Get some water in you.
I'm tipsy.
Yeah.
Like lightly tipsy.
I'm doing okay.
Charon's probably bombed.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. But I still have, a big, giant body, so I don't get hungover because
Ooh.
I get drunk as if I weighed 100 pounds. And I don't.
Nice. All right. Well, let's quickly get through.
Yeah, back to...
Yeah,
Okay, so now we get the meeting with Atlas.
we do. Yes.
Oh, yeah, so much is happening
God.
here. Like,
First of all, we see once again Atlas is such a careful operator. We get our 3 Night Raptors coming in. They're perfectly in sync. Bye. And then we get the 4th one eventually. And Lysander's basically shitting his pants the whole time. He's like, he knows. No matter what's happening, he thinks Atlas knows.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I think sold me a little bit on him being totally ready to flip to the other side.
his internal monologue in this entire thing sounds like he's flipped.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
written so well.
And it almost makes me wonder that if it wasn't for that thing, and even maybe
Yeah.
with that thing, maybe that would have been a contingency. And if Cassie had left, then that would have been a contingency plan.
Yeah, basically allows him to actually
Control
make
Darrow.
the decision
Yeah.
later, rather than having to be forced into the decision.
Yeah.
And making the wrong one.
Like, Lysander could totally be lying in his internal monologue, though, too. Because
True.
mind's
Yeah,
eye
we-
bullshit.
Absolutely had that before. But I think Lysander he's never really been good enough with the mind's eye to overcome his fear of Atlas.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like, he is absolutely terrified of Atlas.
Enough.
So I don't
Yeah.
I think this whole chapter, or at the very least most of it, is genuine to his reactions. Honestly, I would be hitting myself face to face with Atlas, and like he talks about how Atlas's eyes are everywhere, not meeting his, and that maybe he knows because of that. But Atlas, we know Atlas has, or suspect, I guess, Atlas has the mind's eye. He kind of says it in Dark Age.
Yeah.
But, so we kind of see him taking in all of the information that way. But, he's always kind of been like that. He's digesting everything, and he's not breaking the pattern. Like Lysander says, have a plan to kill everyone, or basically have a plan to kill everyone, and any deviation is basically a red flag.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting back and forth. I think I 100% was sold at this point on how he's treating Atlas, how scared. The fact that he tries to send the Greys away, Atlas refuses that. Like, it's a very interesting setup, the whole thing, of not knowing where it was quite going, what the full plan is. So yeah, I was Team Lysander on this one.
Yeah, honestly, like at this point, I was like, "Holy fuck, is this happening right now?"
Well, this is when I texted you.
Yeah.
That is accurate.
One thing I noticed about this chapter is Lysander doesn't seem to be using the mind's eye. And this would be a situation where I would have really expected it from him.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that's because Pierce decided to stop describing it in such detail. Like, we now know he has it, we know some of his capabilities. It's just a thing in the background. Or if after he learned what Octavia did to him in the Pandemonium chair, he purposefully stopped using it.
I have another theory.
Oh.
Okay. Because I have a theory too, so you go and then I'll go.
In Dark Age, when they're in the cave, Lysander is analyzing Atlas with the mind's eye. If Lysander's in the hangar, actively in the mind's eye, while Atlas is digesting all of this information around him,
he'll know.
That was my theory.
He knew in the cave.
That was what I was going to say as well.
He would have,
for sure. He would have known.
Yeah.
Same brain.
We're on it.
So have you guys noticed him using it since, like, for the last couple books, like, since he found out at the end of, I think, Dark Age? Mm-hmm. Have you guys noticed him in the mind's eye? Because I don't think I remember anything in Lightbringer.
He does talk about how he uses the mind's eye during the Rain on Phobos.
Okay.
It's not that he's not using it. It's just I think
he just doesn't use it. I think he doesn't use it around Atlas.
If Atlas was to know that he was purposely using the mind's eye,
it's a trigger of why.
But he also doesn't use it while he's fighting Roan in this chapter. Or at least it's not well described if he does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I think it may just be that Pierce is describing the use of it less because we got the like really visceral
everyone's blinded scene where we
know
the
Seneca fight.
Yeah, we know what
in
can
Dark
happen.
Age.
Yeah.
Like he talks about how he basically is tracking like Roan's shots and like keeping track of where Roan is, where Atlas is. He may be using it.
He knows there's 17 rounds left in his gun that he stole from
19.
Roan. There you go.
But yeah,
also using the mind's eye for the record.
Crescent is always using the mind's eye. Yeah.
Spoilers, I've been brain diddled.
Wow. Shocking.
Yeah, that it felt like that. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think he's using it when he's not face to face with Atlas.
Yeah, that's a really good observation.
But Roan is on another level compared to fucking Seneca.
Yeah.
There's a reason he's the most decorated.
Yeah, like for real.
Gray.
And like he's close to Atlas. Like there's no way Atlas would let somebody who is close to him and that publicly decorated not be just like an absolute freak show.
Well, we learned that Roan's used a razor, correct?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he basically picks up Lysander's razor at one point and backhand whips Lysander's gun and pulls it out of his hand. Lysander's like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" This is not the first time he's used a razor. Not in the least, he says.
Which makes sense from one of Atlas's guys. Cause,
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Atlas doesn't give a shit about that compound.
Yeah, get the job done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so 100% Roan is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. Lysander basically spends the whole fight complimenting Roan. Like he switches between his firearms like water. Like no gray would close on a gold. It's suicide. Not for Roan Teef Lavinius.
The only one faster than Roan is Atlas.
Yeah, exactly. Unbelievable. And then he's like, how many types of ammo does this motherfucker have?
But Roan is also fully decked out. Like, and it just goes to show how, like, a fully geared gray ends up losing to an okay, armed but not decked out gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had this conversation. Oh, actually, I think we were having this conversation last night while we were making the drink. How long does fully armored Roan last against an unarmored but razored Darrow?
Oh. Interesting.
Approximately 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Like that's my guess.
Yeah. The difference between Lysander and Darrow is
Martially unbelievable. Like
no,
there's
for
not
sure.
even a comparison.
Yeah. Yeah. So we get there's like battle after battle in this.
Yeah, there's
duel after
Lysander,
duel. Everyone's
Roan and Atlas work so well together. Like Atlas right away goes after Lysander as soon as Lysander makes a move.
Yeah.
And they switch while granting kill clearance to Roan, and they're kind of just back and forth, like covering each other, but also having their own fight. I mean, I hate it, but I also love it.
It'll make for a good movie scene.
It will. It'll make for a really good movie scene.
So did Cassius end his fight with Atlas on his own?
Yes. He had him by a leash. And
Lysander specifically said he didn't think that he could even help.
Yeah, he literally says, like, I could not keep up with the fight that I'm walking into, basically.
Yeah.
Cassius has got his armor is eaten away by acid in part of it. The generator is gone. It's his helmet's flickering up and down, so he just cuts it off.
Yeah.
Is wild because an uninjured and armored Cassius, who is apparently one of the finest razor masters who exists, is barely defeating Atlas, tired, bedraggled, and unarmored.
Yeah.
Yeah. Though he does have pulse shield.
He does have a pulse shield, but not pulse armor.
Yeah, true. Absolutely true. Cassius is missing his right. Though maybe that's why. So Cassius loses his right hand early.
Of course he does.
And now he's fighting left-handed. And that's why Atlas got all the shots on the other shots.
Yeah.
On.
That makes sense.
but yeah, like Atlas has 3 big gouges across his chest, half his scalp's hanging off. His skin's all blistered because he was boiling
He's
inside of his
boiling, but
shield.
yeah.
Oh my god.
And still just like going
Yep.
for it. Like
Yeah.
Atlas is an asshole, but like he is impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I genuinely thought he was going to be the big baddie of these books. Like, I know we still have Atlantia out there, and that's who Diomedes calls out as the big baddie, but I genuinely thought it was going to end of Darrow versus Atlas. Because, as we say, like, Darrow versus Lysander at the end of all this, Darrow
sure.
will destroy him.
Yeah.
But so it'll now, not that these books have to end in ship-to-ship battle. Maybe we do get some great peace talks. But I can't see a duel ending this book. It will, I think, in my head, the final battle will have to end up being ship-to-ship because Atlas is gone and there's no one really else on the society's side that can meet Darrow in combat.
I mean, maybe
Apollonius.
Apollonius.
Oh my god, I forgot Apollonius.
No, this was
Yeah.
this was Darrow pre-calories, free
Yeah.
Quicksilver's healing,
But
Breath
Apollonius,
of Stone.
he's still described as one of the finest.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Or like
I
That
think
was
it-
before Darrow realized that Breath of Stone existed.
the Breath of the Stone is
and he talks about how Ba is like 100 kilograms heavier than Apollonius when he's in his armor.
Yeah.
Like by far the largest foe he's ever fought.
Yeah.
I think at this point Darrow's top of the heap.
and Fa is described as way faster than he possibly should be at his weight many times.
Yeah.
Because, then we got
But I think
Diomedes on our
if
side.
it was going to be like a proper duel to end it, it's Darrow taking on Lysander and Apollonius and killing Lysander just like with no fanfare. And then having this big drawn out duel with Apollonius. I would love that.
And then having to take down Atlantia. Somehow she's got to fall.
Or he gets Apollonius to surrender and then they take down Atalantia.
Apollonius is such a character. I could see him flipping.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Not to theorize. We don't theorize.
We don't theorize. It's illegal.
Oh, we don't theorize? Okay.
We don't theorize
We
here.
don't theorize.
We're just
Is your
throwing
name
out
Fear?
there.
No.
No, I was just pointing out if I thought Atlas was going to last to the end. And nope.
Yeah, no, I honestly, until this chapter, thought so too.
Yeah.
Yep. Cassius gets the big score. And even calls it out after once
98% of the score.
98%. Cassius calls it out later of how he will be remembered over Lysander because I killed Fear.
Than you. Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, we'll find out later that probably nobody's going to know that because Lysander's a dick.
Spoil just a little bit. Absolutely, they will.
Oh, Pytha. We love our Pytha. But yeah, so then we think we're in a good place. We've got the big baddies are dead. Lysander's switched.
Yeah.
And then we see the bag and the contents. And Atlas is kind of revealed of like, did he tell you what's in it? Or I forget how he words it, but kind of throws it out there.
Ask Lysander about the weapon. It's a biological weapon that can end a color. And Lysander even calls it out. He's like, Atlas sows misery with his final words.
Yeah.
And, classic Lysander, killing somebody with a headshot.
Yep.
No razors, just guns.
Yeah.
Only
It's
guns.
garbage.
Well, it's not like he's going to be able to beat a one-handed Cassius.
It's true. Sure.
Um,
He can't even stand.
yeah. So this is like fucking crushing because one book ago, you wouldn't have given a fuck if Cassius died.
I know.
Speak for yourself.
I wouldn't have cared
I
a
wouldn't
ton
have given a fuck.
if Cassius died. Like, but then this book really makes you like him a ton.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's crushing.
I
Yeah.
concur.
And like, and of course, every single step of the way, it's like Lysander literally calls it out. He's like, in this moment, Cassius is every single thing that I admire about him, and none that I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna try and kill him.
Yeah, he really bought into that fucking shepherd garbage of I am the only one who can save the system. So it's a small sacrifice to kill this person. Like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Cassius basically telling Lysander that he will never get over killing him
Yes.
is
Yeah.
like that's so good.
So
Like, I'll get over it. Cassius, no, you won't.
Because Cassius knows he doesn't go to therapy.
Yeah. Yeah, your therapy's the morning chair. Or
Yeah.
kind of morning chair, sorry.
he can get a psycho spike now and still be about his business all day.
It's true.
Yep.
Be actively repressing. Yeah, like Cassius basically he's willing to lay down his life so that hopefully eventually Lysander will end. Like his mission will fail. He will not succeed.
Yeah.
Like if guilt has to be what drags you down, then I will be your millstone. That is such an incredible line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not even sacrificing himself to stop Lysander from having the thing. He's sacrificing himself to hopefully stop him from using it.
Yeah.
But doing shit all to stop him from having it. And he knows that. Like, he's not dumb. He knows that Lysander's going to kill him before he gets there.
But even I think previous to that, in some of his pleas that he used, I think this whole setup, Cassius went into all of it kind of with this belief that he might die. Like, you're not gonna get onto the Lightbringer without an ounce of this might be my end. But then when he's doing his pleads and he says, like, hand it to me, basically I'll take it into Jupiter, the gas planet.
Yeah.
Like, I was reading that as like almost a like shoot me into the sun kind of a thing. Like, I will kill myself to get rid of this thing. And like there could be other ways to shoot it into Jupiter and not need to, but I read it as Cassius was prepared to give the sacrifice just to get rid of it. And then when he gets to that point of you're not handing it over, well, then I'm committing to the bit and I'm doing it. And then charging at him.
One might even say playing it to the hilt.
Yeah.
So, purely, not emotionally, but from a pure trade perspective, this came out pretty okay for Darrow and the Rising in general. Like, numbers-wise, if we're trading lives, Cassius for Atlas and Roan is a decent trade.
It is.
You raise a good point, as my site said.
And a guilt-stricken Lysander.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
You're right. I have something to add to that, but I would just want to go back because
I agree.
we didn't actually finish of how Cassius dies. Is again with the gun.
Oh, yeah. Lysander doesn't know any other way. No honor, no time.
Yeah.
Um.
Shoot him in the face and blame someone else.
Yeah.
That's
We can't shoot him in the face. He's got his arm up.
Yeah.
But he had 19 rounds of
19
armor
rounds, and he kept
Okay.
going, and then becomes real close to, and then which at that point,
with
Lysander is
this
still
close.
questioning if he was going to do it.
Yeah, he didn't know whether he couldn't or wouldn't do it. And actually, Lysander catches him when he falls, so he's already feeling guilty.
Oh yeah.
He didn't want to like.
He didn't. Yeah,
he didn't want to kill him.
Cassius.
He'd rather that Cassius had just left.
Yeah,
but he thought that his purpose was higher than his friendship.
Yeah.
Okay. On a slightly different note, so Lysander digs into the pack that Atlas had.
Okay.
Here specifically calls out that Lysander realizes there is a single shot left in his gun.
Okay.
He places the gun within reach and then opens the bag. If Edme is not in the bag, do we think Lysander was preparing to shoot himself with that final bullet?
Ooh. I had not thought of that.
Like, I killed Cassius
For
the
nothing.
possibility he did not know that Edme was in that bag.
Yeah.
He had a feeling.
Oh.
But he did not know for sure. Did he just kill Cassius for nothing?
I think the reason that he had the gun beside him is because he opened the bag and then he shot himself in the leg, so he was more injured when he left.
He didn't shoot himself in the leg.
Well, wasn't he more injured?
He put Cassius's razor through his chest above his heart. No, I fully, like, first time I read it, I was like, holy fuck. Like, he was basically preparing for, if he was wrong, to take his own life.
I'm going to have to reread that.
Yeah. Wow. All right, viewers.
Yeah.
Let us know if that's what you picked up on it too. Yeah, because that is... It makes sense when you spell it out that way.
How he thought that he had emptied the gun, but there was one bullet left. So he places the gun within reach. Like, and yes, sure, it could be that, you know, maybe there is somebody else who is going to come, and I need to take one shot to kill them. I didn't read it that way.
No. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, from there, we get the very emotional. So we got that, and then we have to flip back to Darrow, who does not know this is happening, and is just waiting for Cassius to come back, pissed off at him that he's disappeared. He was not supposed to do this. And the very interesting between him and Gaia. So that's what I was going to say, the trade-off.
We missed actually mentioning that Darrow gets ambushed by Dustwalkers at the end of chapter 82.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Basically feels like he's been betrayed.
Yeah.
And we find out in this chapter that no, he has not.
He's just chilling.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Just chilling. Been betrayed. He's just been, normal abducted. No, it's fine. Regular abductions are fine.
Yeah. And at the end of the hangar, we get Lysander claiming it was assassins.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, he goes
and talks to
Kyber.
And explains it all to Kyber.
Anyone in the kill pool is about to be gone. Go retrieve the Edme pack. Basically, make sure that I survive. Unfortunate, but
Yep.
And then actually, and he specifically embarrasses the Praetorians.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that why he said he stabbed himself?
No, he stabbed himself just because assassins. But he basically went and found these Reds, and then had these Reds basically carry him to the Praetorians, and the Reds are denouncing the Praetorians, like, where were you? Why didn't you protect him? He's like, I had to embarrass them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like Kyber.
Yeah.
I like the character of Kyber.
Like,
I don't like Kyber.
I mean, I liked Roan for a while too. So
you know, I really like that Roan is fighting Lysander while barking like a dog. Like, that dude is full on insane.
Yeah.
Like, but I have like the tiniest hope that Kyber will be like, oh no, fuck this guy. Clap.
Can you imagine Kyber becomes the next Roan? Or Kyber flips because Kyber has secretly been friends with Pytha the whole time?
Yeah, love it.
Perfect.
We don't theorize, though.
Okay, so I have a question for you, non-Lysander people.
Okay.
I mean, all of us now, but before this chapter. So when you're reading the parts where Roan is betraying Lysander, do you dislike Roan for betraying Lysander, or do you?
That's a good question.
Or do you like Roan? Like, are you rooting for Lysander against Roan, just not in all other aspects, or?
I think it depends.
I think for me,
go on.
Yeah, I think for me, it was rooting against Roan because he is directly under Atlas, and they're kind of forcing Lysander to do their bidding, or to do Atlas's bidding, because Roan is not part of the planning; he's just the execution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I kind of enjoyed that Lysander did not have anyone he could trust, but I didn't want Atlas to win.
Yeah.
So it's a double-edged sword of like, go Roan, because haha, Lysander, think you can fucking trust anybody. But also like, fuck you, Atlas. We know you're a bigger problem. So, double-edged sword there. But yeah, now we get Darrow hanging out with Gaia. Gaia is like, and also, so the box is again in the corner, chilling. Darrow's waiting for Cassius to come home. And then has some words back and forth with Gaia that she's just not having it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is not down for the Rising. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
She goes on like a pretty decent tirade about basically why should a Red in the Rim, who could barely name 5 moons of Ilium, have the same say in government as me, who has spent my entire unnaturally long life learning social engineering and the GDP of multiple cities and the caloric intake and every move of Ilium and all of this stuff,
which, like,
while also being a tyrant.
But like, that's not even what democracy is. Like, I don't have the same say in what the fuck happens as someone who spends their entire life in politics. Like,
it's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but then she goes on about like the code, like what Diomedes has sworn to. Okay, during this part, how are we feeling about Diomedes reuniting with his grandmother? So we already saw them previously. We kind of skimmed over this of when he has his prodigal son returned moment. He will not let go of her. she's the one who stops the hug. So when we now see how she's behaving this way, and talks about being the mother of fear, talks about like having that, yes, I know who I raised, I know what I'm backing here. Did we still trust that Diomedes was going to continue to be on our side, or was it going to be a last minute, my honor is to my family?
I think at this point I was still trusting Diomedes. Yeah, I don't have a really good reason for why. Basically, I was just wanting to have somebody to trust.
Yeah.
And he had been so steadfast in his honor. And yeah, having given his oath to the daughters.
I think that was a really pivotal moment when he was with the daughters.
Yeah.
And like, I guess seeing that they gave as much of a shit as the Golds did about how society was run.
More, honestly.
More, yeah. But, and seeing their competence in person, I think was a big thing. Like, they're not some ragtag group of people, like they're crushing it to some extent, so that probably helped.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I also love, though, so we do see the next portion of this, as much as she rants on, is Diomedes then proving himself to our side. But in that, she calls out of it was the pink, basically. I forget the words, but it's like,
oh yeah,
it's her fault. Yeah, and kind of knowing, and I love that like Grandma's got an eye on it the whole time of maybe these two are getting a little too close, like calls it out.
Honestly, the fact that Lysander noticed something about a relationship, in Iron Gold, I would have been surprised, very surprised, if Gaia hadn't known.
Yeah.
I didn't pick that up in Iron Gold. I'll have to go back and look at that.
Yeah, he talks about how, basically I see the way Diomedes is looking at the pink at Ori.
Cool.
Yeah.
I will say, so while we're recording this, our survey results are still, people can still weigh in. By the time this airs, it will be, I'll keep it open one day. You can have until tomorrow, February 15th, to weigh in. But as it stands right now, the question of thoughts of Diomedes and Ori, love, just like, or means to an end, is a perfect 3-way tie. We've got 9 responses in.
Really? What?
3 at
Unbelievable.
33.3% for all of them.
I haven't responded yet, so I'm going to break that tie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Better.
Everyone listening, if you
I
are
think it's love,
watching this
for
on the
record.
14th,
I agree.
go weigh in, because there's a few other ones that are really interesting of what people's thoughts and opinions are for Lightbringer. But yeah, I kind of put the means to an end one in as a kind of a joke, but 3 out of 9 people so far. And
Sounds like
it's only
30 people are a joke.
Oh.
Don't hate me, guys. I love you for watching, and we love you for voting.
Yeah.
It could be both means for an end and love, I suppose.
Yes.
Like, you can have a goal and then also fall in love with a person.
Oh.
Pose. They feel kind of mutually exclusive, though.
Fair enough.
Well,
so this was the best monologue in this chapter.
Yeah.
This is where we fully see Diomedes is fully on board with the Rising.
Oh, 100%. he's like quite literally putting his life in Gaia's hands.
Yep.
And it looks like she's gonna fucking do it. And Darrow is blown away by Diomedes. His convictions are, he will not bend. His convictions are iron.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that passage so much. And you know, obviously, it cements Diomedes for me, and I mean it's supposed to kind of for everyone, but I felt vindicated for trusting it.
No. Well, that's it on the saddest chapters of the book.
Yeah. It is now Nival night. It's time for the vote.
Yep. Yep. Any other thoughts, comments? What did we miss?
Cassius. We miss Cassius.
We miss Cassius.
We missed the chin.
Posing for a coin.
Can I also say that in this, there is people who have voted. Let me pull it back up. Oh, that's the wrong one. One of the other questions is a three-way duel. Who wins? 22% are saying Cassius. So he's got some votes there. I didn't expect anyone to kind of vote for him.
Three-way duel between
Darrow, Diomedes, Cassius.
Darrow, Diomedes, Cassius.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that.
We spoke about it briefly. I can't remember in which channel we talked about it, but someone said it was specifically Darrow v Cassius, and somebody said in a duel to the touch, Cassius, but in a duel to the death, Darrow.
I would agree with that, actually. That's a really good distinction.
Yeah. Yeah, Cassius is a duelist.
Fluidity in form.
Yeah. And actually Lysander calls it out in chapter 84, like even injured, his defense does not falter. But I think, yeah, if Darrow is going for the kill, like, it's not happening.
Yeah.
I don't think we've come across a person who would challenge him at this point.
At this point, no.
Like, we could say maybe the Minotaur.
Maybe.
But
maybe Prime Aja, but
yeah. Yeah, Prime Aja actually at this point might be a good.
I don't know. I think Ragnar, if he had training, would have killed Aja.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Darrow with the Breath of Stone, I think, is so far past like where Ragnar would have been.
Yeah, they describe Fa as pretty much undefeatable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Breath of Stone
Darrow
throws in a whole other.
Yeah. Because the Willow Way was actually Darrow talks about it in his fight with Fa, is the central pillar and the lashing limbs.
Yeah.
Whereas the Breath of Stone is just constant movement and adapting. I am firmly of the opinion that Breath of Stone, Darrow kills Prime Aja.
Prime.
Lorn. Same.
You think?
Honestly, I think Lorn was outclassed by Aja by the time he died.
By the time he died, but him in his prime, I'm not.
But him in his prime.
I think him in his prime was lesser than him at the end of his life.
Oh, you think?
Yeah. Because he had 100 years to perfect the Willow Way.
He's still an old man, though.
True. But in his prime, he hadn't had 100 years to perfect the way.
We don't know what old men are like in Gold Society. Like
we don't know.
They
Well,
can
we
see reflections in people's eyes to
we know
identify
at the
people
beginning
like.
at the beginning of this, it calls out that there is anyone from 16 to 120 going into
Yeah.
this battle.
Um,
So there's
and
120-year-olds in this.
yeah, and I mean, Lorne at the end of his life was still terrifying to people.
Yeah.
Darrow drops down onto Pliny's conference table, and if anyone comes within 2 meters of Darrow, I kill everyone in this room.
Yeah.
And people are killing one another to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the terrifying old man.
slag tack terrify them. Yeah, I don't know. I think Prime Darrow or Breath of Stone Darrow, because I don't know if I would consider Breath of Stone Darrow to be Prime Darrow. I think probably, but I'm not 100% on it.
Like, do you think there's more steps coming, or do you think?
No, I think like Darrow talks about how like he's had surgery to replace the meniscus in his knees like 3 times, and he's got his broken arm that didn't necessarily set 100% properly, and it twinges when he's fighting. And,
Right.
And it only kind of gets better after they visit Quicksilver. I would say like properly Prime Darrow is Gala to Lion's Reign.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like this is a whole other episode.
It's a whole other
Yeah.
yeah.
We've
We can have this whole episode later.
Yeah.
But
fill in the survey if
that
you
was
haven't
81.
yet. Message, you can email or send a DM in the den. Our email is fadetoobsidian@gmail.com so that we can have full paragraphs. Send me everything you've ever thought in the world. Voice messages. Have your voice heard.
Okay, maybe not hours long messages, but
No, I have to edit that down. Please don't do that. But send that through so that we can have deep discussion. I'm not going to tell Crescent anything you say until him and Salem are live with me.
Yeah, I mean, live reacting is going to be great.
It's going to be good.
I promise not to.
Do not read the emails.
Go into the email.
Yeah, and don't DM him. DM actually DM First Mate, which is the Fade to Obsidian fun second account that we have. Yeah, it's gonna be good. So do that in the next 24 hours essentially, so I can get that out. Or hopefully you've done this previous and you can
hopefully
save my
we're
life
just
a little
preaching
bit.
to the choir here.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, I think that's it. We're next week with Salem to finish up this, and then she comes back.
4 whole chapters.
4 whole chapters, and then we'll do a wrap up, and then we get Cass Bash, which will more be Cassius in memoriam, I feel.
Yep. 100% it will.
Bashing seems cruel.
Yeah.
Absolutely at this point. It felt cruel to me last time too, but that was just to me.
I'm so glad I hadn't finished. You had been like, you gotta read it, I could not have done that episode in Iron Gold knowing what I know now. I finished it 2 days after we recorded that, and I was like, oh god, like I understand.
Oh yeah, I don't recall. I don't think it was that close.
It was, because it was re-recorded on the May 24th, like the long weekend. We recorded the Friday, and then I think it was the Sunday, Monday I had off. Yeah, so definitely on the Monday is when I finished it. So yeah, it was.
Like even then, you would have known that Cassius saved Darrow at the end of Dark Age.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. I can still make fun of him
anyway.
Is it?
But he's eating it for himself. at that point.
Exactly. And actually, at that point, I had read the beginning of Lightbringer, so I knew that Cassius was like kicking around getting them helium and stuff, and like abandoned them on the moon, and then left. And like, what's his motives in this? I don't know. So
Yeah, if he's secretly working for his mother, he brings home Bologna helium.
yep, yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
Us
All right.
now, turns out.
Turns out. Maybe
Thank
he'll come
you,
back
everybody.
again. Is 18 shots too much? Can't come back from that?
Ask you on your 21st birthday, I guess.
Oh, I was like, what? I don't get it. Yeah. I was doing jello shots on my 21st birthday. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone does that on their 21st birthday,
Yeah.
though. That's
My friend's 21st birthday, I did 23 shots of tequila on his 21st birthday.
Oh, that's the one I was thinking of.
That's, yeah.
Ooh.
I don't touch tequila now.
Yeah,
And
sorry,
on
Paul.
that
Sounds
note,
like a death.
on that note,
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you,
Join
everybody,
the-
for joining us.
yes.
Join the den.
Join the den.
Check
Join our
out-
Patreon.
Yeah, check out howlerhollow.net. Check out Jess Lost in Books on Etsy. Check out redbubble.com/shop/Fade to Obsidian, or just search Fade to Obsidian on Redbubble.
It's a lot easier.
It is.
Yep.
There's so much stuff.
So
You
much.
can get most of our designs on pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Alright.
Thanks for
Thanks,
listening.
guys.
We love our audio only listeners too.
We do. We do love you, even though we make fun of you. We do love you all.
That's because you're just
All
not
right.
looking at our faces.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And to everyone who puts me on double speed and then complains that I'm a fast talker, this is for you.
We've never talked so fast in our lives.
Yeah. We should try and do an episode as double speed. It's never going to work,
God.
but still.
Make a script ahead of time and then just talk as fast as you can while you read it.
I'll just edit it so it's already double time, and then they can't
Oh my
complain
God.
when it's
Yeah, do it.
just blow their minds. All right.
40
Thank you,
minutes.
Charon, for joining us, and for both of you making a
Glad to be here.
delicious cocktail. Yeah. See y'all next week. Bye.